I'd really like to thank the organizers of this event, because I'm not a trained HR person. In a HR meet, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm a trained engineer and I'm used to work on ground level. Even though I work as a consultant for last 15 years, I don't wear a tie and I don't have a suit. So I'm more of a working level guy. I don't stand here most of the time. Most of the time I work on the ground level. I don't teach in the classroom, I teach on the field. Okay. And I'm not very good at people side. And one of the certificates I got is from my daughter. When she was 6 years old, she told me, "You don't know how to talk to kids." So that's a certificate I got, which says I'm not good at people. But anyway, I have learned a lot of people aspects, how to deal with people the hard way. I have learned practically dealing with variety of people in different industries, different countries, and some of the very hardcore people I have tried to change. I was successful in some cases, not so lucky in other cases. But in the process, I learned a lot of things about people actually. I am a student of psychology. I have learned psychology also formally. I went to college and learned all these things I did. Today, if I have to go back to again in engineering college and teach, I don't like to teach engineering subjects. There are many people who can do that better. I'd like to teach people aspects to engineers. Unfortunately, world over, engineers are not taught people aspects. We learn a lot of technology and those things. That's important. I don't say it's not important. But when I join a job, I need to work with people more than machines. So that's where my learnings are more in people side. Coming back to this particular presentation, it was really hard for me to prepare for this. In fact, none of the slides which I'm going to show today I have done before it. These are all newly had to do, but I could hardly make 15 slides, but I have kept on thinking it for a long time. For a couple of weeks, I am thinking about what do I talk. Because if you see traditionally, I'm sure some of you might have got idea about what is Six Sigma. You might have read something, some articles, maybe attended a training also, I don't know. But traditional way of looking at Six Sigma is doing projects. We say breakthrough projects. Take projects and get results of those projects. This is the normal way of implementing Six Sigma. To identify big projects, we call breakthrough projects, using 80-20 principle, we call it. So 80% of your problems are coming from 20% of the issues. So work on those 20% issues, you solve 80% of your problem. But this is the principle we use, and we identify the big issues organization is facing and try to solve those problems. That's what Six Sigma. Very simple definition of it. Other industries, they do not do it correctly. Especially when it comes to HR. It's not easy to implement this model of doing big projects. See, I don't think you will have projects which can save big money, because many things in HR are intangible. It's difficult to quantify. In terms of money, it's very difficult to quantify. Like the speakers before me have talked about many aspects, like happiness. How do you quantify happiness in terms of money? It's very difficult. Six Sigma talks about savings in money, hard money. So that's where I thought of going back to fundamentals. If you're completely confused, if you don't know what to do, it's a completely different environment where you apply Six Sigma or any philosophy in a completely new environment where you're not familiar with this. You need to go back to basics. And as a consultant, normally in the last 15 years, I don't work for same industry second time. In every industry, I work for one company because it keeps me learning all the time. Many consultants, what they do is they work in one company, like for example a bank, they go to another bank, another bank, another bank. So they become experts. I don't want to become an expert in any industry. So that's why I work for a variety of industries and learned a lot. I was really confused. And so finally what I've come up with is, can I have the next slide, please? So this is the three aspects which I'm going to talk. One is basics of Six Sigma. Because a lot of books are there today. If you look at 1999, 2000, hardly one or two books are published on the topic of Six Sigma. But so just stop. Just the push. Don't press all the things. Go back. Yeah, that's it. So I'd like to ask the first question. What is Six Sigma? Can somebody tell me what is Six Sigma? Okay, good business leadership. Anybody else? Okay, quality control, yes. Okay. Okay, 6 defects in 1 million. Method for improving business processes. Yes. Good. Let me see my answer here. It's a scientific approach to reduce defects to a very low level. To be precise, it's 3.4 million opportunities. 3.4 defects in 1 million opportunities. That's what is the perfection Six Sigma aims at. Okay, can I have the next question? Just press 1. Now, one of our friends was saying defects. That's the basic definition in Six Sigma. Eliminating defects. We don't want any defects. No, understanding defects in a manufacturing scenario or transactions in bank is easy. But what is a defect in HR? When you talk of HR function, what you consider as a defect? My previous speaker was mentioning about role of HR. In that role list, if you talk right from hiring and firing, okay, what is defect?
Yes. Defect in terms of HR?
See, don't be broad, be specific. For example, yesterday in the hotel, when I was checked in the room, there was nothing. Like that, in HR, what's the defect?
What's the defect?
Yeah?
How he is performing.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you say if your performance is not good, it's a defect. Okay, fine.
But can you be more specific? Like,
No. Hiring? Very good. Hiring a wrong person. Very good. Yes. What else?
Staff sounds satisfied.
Okay.
That's a
Staff
good
is
indicator.
not happy, is not satisfied.
That's a good
right.
defect.
That's right. See, when I joined
Incapable of retaining, yes.
when I joined a man.
Bias appraisal.
Yeah.
Wrong. Influence.
Selection.
Employee selection. Wrong employee selection.
That's right. Very good. I got many answers, yeah?
assign the task to incapable person.
Okay. You see, most of the things you have mentioned are talking out output level. Can I have the next? A defect is something not acceptable to customer. In Six Sigma, what we say is whatever is not acceptable to customer, we call it a defect. If customer is not having any problem, it's not a defect. It's not a defect. It's about perception. Quality is about perception. Just to give you a quick example, a couple of years back, in my town, they opened a pizza shop. They deliver in 30 minutes, Domino's. But they operate in a small area. They don't go beyond their region. Okay? They don't give commitment beyond that area. So my house actually is outside their region. When my kids want to have a pizza, I called them. They said, we can't deliver in your area. When they delivered, wrong selection test, okay?
Good. Quality, political influence recruitment.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
that's good. That's very practical problems. Very practical problems.
Can I have the next?
So,
See, whatever is not acceptable to the user department, for you the customer is your user department. You are recruiting for a particular position, for a particular department. So whatever is not acceptable to that department, head of the department, is a defect, such as wrong candidate, even delay. For example, they want a candidate by maybe 15 days. They want first with the profile they have provided. If you are not able to provide within 15 days, it's a defect, isn't it? Can I have next slide?
in the pizza world, if you do not deliver the pizza in 30 minutes, they will say, "What? The pizza is free." Is there something?
Maybe you should agree with your user. Okay. In Six Sigma way, defects are defined at the process level, not at the output level. See, most of the defects you are talking about, they are at output level. Once you have hired a wrong person, that's the end of the hiring process. At the end of the hiring process, if you know we have a wrong person in place, already damage is done. This is not the right way to measure defect.